We're each going to offer some very brief opening remarks, and then we will open up to the questions. I know we have to limit that a little bit. I apologize again just because of time. We have just completed the 2015 edition of the U.S.-India Strategic and Commercial Dialogue, which this year includes the commercial component for the very first time. And I want to thank Secretary Pritzker for leading that track together with her counterpart from India, which is a critical component of our bilateral relationship. This is the second strategic dialogue that I have chaired with my friend Sushma, and I think she would agree that the level of our cooperation is impressive. It is expanding in ways that will not only benefit both of our countries, but will benefit the world. For starters, we have concluded a very significant memorandum of understanding on energy security, climate change, and clean energy. India's commitment to reach 175 gigawatts of renewable energy by 2022 is the world's most ambitious target in the area of renewables. American companies and research institutions are committed to help our partners achieve that goal. We're also launching a Fulbright Climate Fellowship program to facilitate the exchange of key research information. More important still, both of our governments are firmly committed to reaching a truly meaningful, truly comprehensive, and truly ambitious climate agreement in Paris later this year. And that is absolutely critical. It reflects the responsibility of world leaders to show the way on problems that profoundly affect not just our countries, but all of the citizens of this planet. Energy and climate change are but two of the many issues on which our governments made progress over the last couple of days, and particularly today in our plenary session. For example, our governments are leading on efforts with 21 other nations to end preventable maternal and child deaths. Our hope is that this initiative will spell the difference between life or death for millions of children and for women between now and the end of the decade. Second, we agreed on a joint initiative to train troops in 6 African countries before they deploy to UN peacekeeping missions. This responds to a growing need for effective, professional, international peacekeeping in regions of conflict. And regrettably, there are too many regions of conflict. The increase in peacekeeping demand is high, and we are very grateful to India for its expertise and for its willingness to help lend that expertise to this task. Third, we have renewed our joint commitment to maritime security, international law, and the peaceful resolution of disputes in the Asia-Pacific and Indian Ocean regions. Fourth, we will be implementing measures to deepen even more our cooperation in the fight against international terrorism, which has claimed too many lives in both of our countries. Fifth, we reaffirmed our joint commitment to a secure and stable Afghanistan, a sovereign Afghanistan, and discussed next steps in helping the government in Kabul to strengthen its institutions and combat the threat that is posed by violent extremists. Sixth, we're launching a promising new ocean dialogue in order to promote the sustainable, and I emphasize sustainable, development of the blue economy, as we call it. The world's oceans are being challenged everywhere. The fisheries of the world are either dramatically overfished or near extremis, and it is imperative for countries to come together in an effort to try to manage the fish stocks of the world and in order to make sustainable practices the practices that are accepted across the planet. Seventh, we established the Pacesetter Fund, a joint $7.9 million fund to promote innovative, off-grid, clean energy solutions. And finally, during the UN General Assembly sessions next week, Sushma and I will join Japanese Foreign Minister Kishida in the first trilateral ministerial meeting to coordinate policies among our three great democracies. In closing, I want to once again thank the members of both the U.S. and the Indian delegations for their very hard work and for a very productive and candid exchange today. The U.S.-India relationship is a bright spot on the international landscape and is one of the most important bilateral relationships in the world. President Obama and our entire administration are strongly committed to this relationship, to this friendship, and President Obama looks forward to meeting with Prime Minister Modi next week in New York. Our talks today have given us a platform for further progress. I mentioned at the end of the meeting today that one of the reasons we are late is there was so much to talk about. There are so many areas of cooperation. There is so much going on between us. It is clearly one of the most fruitful, one of the most productive bilateral relationships that I have the privilege to work on, and I'm very grateful to our colleagues, my colleagues, for helping to make it so.
Our discussions have been most productive and fruitful and allowed us an opportunity to assess and review all the good work being done on both sides in different fields. We have also charted new ideas and initiatives to further strengthen our bilateral cooperation in different domains.